review for Metaphor Re Fantasio. And basically, they said the main story, if you don't really veer off the path and just do the main story elements, the game's about 80 hours long. If you do the side content, it's about 100 hours long. And it's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess that's very similar to a Persona game, right? The Persona games have been that long for a very, very long time. And basically the way I see it is it's a double-edged sword in today's gaming landscape, all right? For those of you who are into tons of gameplay and value for your buck, and for those of you who like lengthy, drawn-out JRPGs, this is good news. For the record, that's me. Like, I really like longer games that you're getting a ton of content. Like, for example, Dragon Quest XI, I loved it. That was a game that had an entire first campaign. You beat it, and then there's an entire second campaign. And I was like, whoa, that blows me away because I'm really, really enjoying it, right? Same with Persona 5, although admittedly, I do feel like Persona 5 maybe is a little too long, all right? But as you know, I'm playing the Metaphor demo right now. As of now, I am 7.5 hours into it, and we're not done yet. We've just unlocked a side dungeon that's completely optional, and we're exploring it, and I'm grinding in it, and that's going to be probably like hours of extra content. And then after that, we go to the end of the DLC, where there's the final dungeon and the finale. So not the DLC, excuse me, the demo. So the demo itself is going to end up having like 13 plus hours of content. That's the demo, right? That's the length of some games, but it was free demo. So you can imagine how long the real game will be. But herein lies the double-edged sword. All right, here's the problem for me, and this is why I want to talk with you guys about it today and bring it up as a topic of discussion. I'm really liking the Metaphor demo. I think the graphics are outstanding on PC. I think the music is great. I think the atmosphere, the world design, and the lore of this brand new world that they've created for this game is actually very entertaining and interesting to dive into and learn more about. The gameplay elements, it's like Persona with some twists, and I like that. It's not just Persona. There's some things that feel familiar and some things that feel different, and that's what you want, right? Ultimately, you want variety. You don't want a game that's exactly the same as Persona. And I'm really enjoying my time in it, okay? But, quite frankly, okay, to be honest, I don't know if this is going to work as a playthrough for me. Why? I've played the demo for 7.5 hours, and the entire time I streamed the demo, I had barely 200 viewers on my stream, okay? And when I played it this last time, it was really hard to get people to really even, like, contribute for the stream, which is fine. It wasn't a terrible stream, okay? But we didn't hit the goal for that stream, but at the same time, it wasn't like, oh, it was dead. But the way I see it is this, right? I am in a tough position because I'm a content creator who does this for a living. This is not my hobby, right? This is not all my free time or whatever. This is my job. This is literally how I support my family, you know, how I operate, how I pay for everything. When I'm making content, I have to be sure that the content I'm making is content that my audience wants, as well as content that I want to make. It's not just all one way or all the other. You got to find that happy balance between the two. Because if I just played stuff I wanted to play all the time, I'd go out of business. And if I just played stuff that you guys wanted me to play all the time, I'd be fucking miserable, all right? You got to find that in-between spot, and that's fine, okay? I'm not complaining in any way. I think that's worth learning over the years, which is something that I learned the hard way, right? So, in regards to Metaphor, this is a game that I know I would love to play. This is a game that likely could be one of my favorite playthroughs in years. For example, I just mentioned it. Dragon Quest XI was a playthrough that I balanced with all of my other playthroughs. It didn't get a lot of attention. Quite frankly, it didn't even get a lot of support, but it was very lengthy, and I ended up really enjoying the game. And I was like, man, what a special playthrough that I'll remember for a long time. And I do to this day. I remember some nights when we were chilling and enjoying the game and having a good time with it, and how fun those were. Social interactions where we had discussions and stuff while I was playing this awesome JRPG, right? But the problem is, you know, even the demo, which you think would have hype behind it because people want to see the new game from the makers of Persona, can't barely bring in 200 viewers. And it's like, I don't know. This is tough. If I play Metaphor, here's my feeling, all right? The people who are here are going to have a great time. Okay? The people who are actually here for it, there's just not going to be that many. And basically, I have to be more careful now moving forward that the stuff that I'm doing isn't polarizing to my audience. Because take a look at what happened earlier this year. I was playing Baldur's Gate 3, Like a Dragon Infinite Will, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Dragon's Dogma 2, and it completely backfired. Everyone told me you've lost the script here, right? Like you're playing all this long, drawn-out, boring shit. We like you because of, you know, action, your responses to tough and challenging situations, you know, multiplayer fun stuff, more interactive, chill stuff. Literally, the RPGs are boring us. So I stayed away from RPGs for a really long time this year. Remember, I didn't play an RPG for a very long time. We did play Fallout 4. And that's because it was for a different reason. But even that, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like lengthy JRPG style games. This would be the first lengthy JRPG style game that I've played in many, many months. Okay. But what I'm seeing is just not getting any kind of real traction. If I'm committing to a 100-hour playthrough, just think of it this way. There's no way I could be playing Metaphor as day streams for most of it. Maybe every once in a while I could do a 3-hour daytime stream. Most streams will be 2 hours on night streams. It's a 100-hour game. Now, I'll be like 10, 15 hours into it because I'm playing the demo. So let's say it's an 85-hour game, all right? Do the math. If I play Metaphor twice a week on a late stream, 2 hours each, that's 4 hours a week. That means in 1 month, I'll play 12 hours. Yeah. No, excuse me. I'm stupid. In 1 month, I'll play 16 hours, right? If I play it twice a week. That means if you do the math, it's going to take me 5 months to beat Metaphor. 5 months. Do you think that even out of the 200 who were there for the premiere this coming weekend coming up, right? Or I think it's actually next week. Do you think they're going to be around in 5 months to watch the end of that playthrough? Or are they going to dip after they realize it's going to take 5 months, right? That's the problem. Like, if I just play the game nonstop, I'll get very low views, very low support, and I'll be shooting myself in the foot and hurting myself in my business. If I stretch it out to balance it out more so that I have other hype things going on to balance with it to make it work, that's great. But then everyone says it takes too long to beat the game because I play it that way, and now I'm not going to be watching it for 5 months and I quit, and, you know. So it's like, I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't, right? If I don't play this game, I feel like I'll be missing one of the best games of the year, and I'm really going to regret it because I love this style of game. But if I play the game, I feel like I'm hurting myself business-wise. So, I don't know, right? Like, really, I really don't know what to do. We got to think about this. We have about a week to figure it out, right? The good news is I'm going to finish the demo. I'm going to play the demo tomorrow, and then if I need one more stream, I'll do it one more time during the coming week. We're going to finish the demo, and basically by the time I finish the demo, we have to come to the conclusion of what I'm going to do with this game. All right? I'm willing to play it, but to me, my fear is that there's just going to be too few people, no support, and then every time I play it, it's like, okay, it's the dead stream. Why even have the dead stream? Why not just do things people want? Right? So, okay. So anyway.